If it's all right, I wanted to get started. I know we're a little late and not quite the setup we had hoped, but thanks for coming out. This is the 2021 presentation for the Moses Howe Award. We're presenting it to Jeff Stillings. So before we get started, we have a special guest singer this afternoon to sing the national anthem for us. The flag is behind us up high, so we'll just have to turn and look up. Sorry.
Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and the light stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you. That was Arya Monaco, our police chief's daughter, NAQUAG student, rising second grader. Thank you, Arya. Jeff, why don't you come up here so you can be the center of attention for all of this? So this is the Moses Howe Award. Moses Howe was a founding father of Rutland, and he's recognized as Rutland's first law enforcement officer. He and his wife Eunice had 10 children, including Rutland's firstborn citizen Samuel in 1719. Moses held many town offices, kind of like Jeff: selectman, esquire, justice of the peace, officer in the militia, he's been a law enforcement officer, and constable. He and his family lay to rest in the old burial ground cemetery between the library and the old fire station. Amazingly, Rutland residents are still able to draw direct lineage back to the Moses Howe family. Jeff actually started the Moses Howe Award process a few years ago. We opened nominations at the beginning of the calendar year for exemplary public service to the people and town of Rutland. After nomination, we leave the nominations open for a couple months. Then the select board reviews the nominations and chooses a recipient. This year was 2021 recipient was Jeff Stillings. Jeff had a lot of nominations. Some of it was works because Jeff has worked above and beyond in recognizing unsung heroes in our community. He's the master party planner. He's an organizer of many town events that have made Rutland an envy of surrounding towns. Concerts on the Common, the Tricentennial Day, a lot of other activities. Moses Howe Award. He spearheaded the Ralph Anderson Square dedication. He works to preserve historical aspects of town and continues to involve himself with Boy Scouts, police, and fire. The board acknowledges Jeff's involvement in bringing fun back to Rutland, creating events and opportunities for the entire community to come together, even during and through COVID. Jeff has helped to keep a pulse on activities at the state level, with great relationships with Senator Goby and Representative Ferguson, and has recently taken the title Unofficial Mayor of Rutland. We'd be remiss if we don't acknowledge Jeff's wife, Sally, and daughter, Sarah, too. Thank you for sharing Jeff with Rutland the past few years since you guys have been in town. So we have some presentations to Jeff, so I will pass the mic along. We have Senator Goby, Lizzie from Representative Ferguson's office, and Dave Tuttle from Sheriff Lou Evangelitis' office. Here we go, Senator Goby.
That's okay, thank you. This is fun, isn't it? Yay! And you know, I was thinking, Jeff must drive you crazy at home though, because he is so particular about stuff. Type A personalities can drive their spouses nuts, right? There's no question. But when you were talking about everything that Jeff did, I think everyone realizes he wasn't just a cheerleader for the town of Rutland. He was the whole dang squad, right? Did absolutely everything. And you know, that attention to detail though is so important. We saw it when you welcomed the mayor from Marietta. That guy did not go without. He had a car waiting for him, he had a place to stay. He got him to be able to throw out the first pitch at the Woo Sox game. I mean, there's people, because of Jeff, right? Putting everything together, but that's the kind of person that he is and everything that he's done for this community, and I think it's very fitting, obviously, with the connection. You know, Jeff has DNA in his body and has DNA as a police officer with his father, who was a state trooper for so many years, and we all loved Harry the Net. He was the best, but we love Jeff, and we are going to miss him dearly. And on behalf of the state senate, I'm going to give you that too. Wait, every time we come here, it's windy. Gosh, no. It was like this the day of the... So, in recognition of your many years of dedicated and heartfelt service to the town of Rutland, your endless sense of duty, patriotism, and love of community and country will be enshrined in the history of Rutland, and you will be missed. We love you, big guy. I'm going to pass this over to Lizzie on behalf of Representative Ferguson.
Thank you very much. It's an honor to be here today. I am Representative Ferguson's district director, but also the first time I ever met Jeff was in the city of Gardner, because I'm the city council president there, and he told us how we stole Michael Nicholson from the town of Rutland. He gave an absolutely glowing endorsement speech for Michael Nicholson, and people still talk about it. You know, he's just such a wonderful, you know, dedicated community member, and it's wonderful to be able to honor him here today on that note as well. So from Representative Ferguson's office, I do have a note from her that she wanted me to read. She's unfortunately could not be here today. She says, "I am so sorry that I cannot be with you this afternoon to celebrate and wish you well as you embark on your next adventure. I want to thank you for your friendship and support over the years, and certainly for your many years of dedicated service to the town of Rutland and beyond throughout the entire Wachusett community. It has truly been a pleasure working with you throughout the years, and I will miss your input, advocacy, and overall involvement in so many things. I wish you and your family all the best, and I will certainly be following your new adventures on Facebook." And here we have a citation. "Be it hereby known to all that the Massachusetts House of Representatives offers its sincerest congratulations to Jeff Stillings in recognition of your receipt of the Moses Howe Award and your many years of dedicated service to the town of Rutland and the entire Wachusett community."
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Dave Tuttle. I'm the superintendent for the Worcester County Sheriff's Office. Unfortunately, the sheriff couldn't be here today. It's his birthday weekend, and he's spending it with his daughter. So I had the honor of coming out here. I'm not unfamiliar with the town of Rutland. I live in Barrie. You know, my past jobs, I was involved in the library funding and the police fire station, the highway barn, and all that. And I'm very lucky, before I talk about Jeff, to be married to probably the best town employee Rutland has, your treasure collector. I have to say that I have to go home tonight with her. So I was driving out. The sheriff asked me to come out here today to honor Jeff and to wish him the best on his next adventure. And I've known Jeff for many years, and when he retired from the feds, we tried to lure him to the sheriff's department to come work for us too, is how much we respect him. But I was thinking about what a great guy he is, and really how we live in probably the greatest country in the world. We do. And towns like Rutland and Barrie and Central Mass are very fortunate. What makes us a great country and great communities is because people stand up. Good people stand up to do good things for their towns. Like our senators, our reps, your selectmen, people like Jeff Stillings is what makes us the great country that we are. And as I was writing about thinking about that, I remembered this quote from John Wesley, who was involved in the Church of England, the Methodist Church, and he said, "Do all the good you can, by all the means you can, in all the places you can, at all the times you can, to all the people you can, for as long as you can." And that's Jeff Stillings. I think that really kind of symbolizes who Jeff Stillings is. He does all the good he can, all the time that he can. And Rutland and Central Mass, we're all going to miss him. Watch out. It's at Davenport, Florida. Watch out. There he comes. So they're again our loss. I have a citation from the sheriff also recognizing getting the Howe Award. But I also have a hat for you and a mug from the Sheriff's Department. I couldn't get you to work for me. Maybe you can think about me when you get down there. So congratulations and good luck to you.
So, Nick, why don't you guys come on up also while Carol and the board present the proclamation that we have for Jeff.
From the town of Rutland Board of Selectmen, a proclamation honoring Mr. Jeffrey Stillings for the 2021 Moses Howe Award. Mr. Jeffrey Stillings served 1 year on the Rutland Board of Selectmen from May 2018 through May 2021. Mr. Stillings also served on various committees, not limited to the Historical Commission and the Tricentennial Committee, and spearheaded many town activities, including instituting the Moses Howe Award, the dedication of Ralph Anderson Square, organizing Friday concerts on the Common, and many tricentennial activities. Additionally, Mr. Stillings facilitated the preservation of the prison camps and has been an active project mentor to Eagle Scouts in town. And whereas upon seeing unmet needs, he steps in to find a way to yes. Whereas Mr. Stillings, a Rutland resident, has served his town off and on for his entire life. And whereas the town of Rutland wishes to recognize the actions of Mr. Jeffrey Stillings, a Rutland resident, for the past 5 years of exemplary public service. Now therefore, be it resolved, the town of Rutland, on behalf of its citizens, is grateful to Mr. Jeffrey Stillings for his service to town, and that hereby the town bestows upon Mr. Jeffrey Stillings the 2021 Moses Howe Award, presented on behalf of the Board of Selectmen this 8th day of July 2022, and this day is declared in honor of Mr. Jeffrey Stillings.
Hi everybody, I'm Nick Monaco, the police chief. Just want to say a quick thank you to Jeff. Jeff, you took a role in the select board at a very tumultuous time in politics and policing in America, and we want to thank you for the unwavering support of public safety and this police department. So on behalf of all the men and women of Rutland PD, thank you.
Jeff, Sally, and Sarah, on behalf of Rutland, thank you. I'm going to try not to cry. You've made an indelible mark on town, and you will most certainly be missed. Know that Rutland is always home, and you will always have a place in Rutland's heart. Don't stay strangers. So we have the Moses Howe plaque here if anyone wants to come up and see with the new addition. There's a town plaque going around. Please feel free to sign. And we'll head over to Milk Room for anyone that wants to visit with Jeff and his family. They don't open till 4, so we have a little bit of time to visit here also. Thanks for coming out, everyone. Jeff wants to say something. Always needs the last word.
Pause for the cannons. Okay. This is unexpected. Very nice. I appreciate this a lot. I'm not used to being the recipient of a gratitude event. It's a little uncomfortable for me. I kind of like being on the other side of the presentation table, but I do appreciate it. In 2019, I remember reading the Jonas Reed book on the history of Rutland, and when I was reading through it, I keep seeing the same name recurring, Moses Howe, as, you know, the captain of the militia, but Moses Howe, constable, and we didn't have a police department until 1934. So I reached out to Chief Monaco, and I said, hey, I'm reading this thing here, and I think I've identified Rutland's first lawman. He was a constable, and Find a Grave Registry says that he's buried past the old fire barn in there. We went and we found the grave, so what do you say we do something special? We've got Police Week coming up. Police Memorial Day was May 15th. Why don't we do something neat? And we'll lay a grave. And at that time, we didn't realize that the Amsden family were direct descendants. And Lynn is here. She's a direct, oh, there's Karen. I didn't see you, Karen. Karen and Lynn are direct descendants of Moses Howe, which we learned later. So that's pretty special. So that kind of started things up. I said, well, let's do something special for Police Day, Police Memorial Day, and take the opportunity to recognize our police, like the chief said, tumultuous times, but, you know, we hear the negative from the vocal 1%. The 99% left in this town overtly supports the police and what they do. Let's show that. So that kind of started it off, and we laid the wreath, and we had some musketeers because, you know, anything worth doing is worth overdoing. And we had Dancer Hockey and his guys, and only one misfire, right? Wasn't too bad. So that's kind of started things off. And then later on the board, we said, you know, why don't we recognize somebody in public service every year? Clearly, you know, the police department would come to mind, fire department would come to mind, you know, something for an extraordinary event, but also maybe the unsung heroes who aren't recognized all the time for something exceptional. And those that come to mind who I think are equally as worthy, if not more worthy, and I myself submitted a nomination for the COVID team for what we went through the past couple of years, and they are clearly worthy, but I did watch the minutes of the selectmen's meeting, and I understand, you know, unfortunately COVID will be here next year, and you'll still be dealing with the COVID team. Jeff won't be. So I'm humbled, I appreciate that. But other people that are equally as worthy, certainly the police and the fire departments, and your public-facing entities that you saw on the 4th of July and the Tricentennial Day. You know, the Congo Church people who are out here pushing for their church, the Lions Club doing the strawberry shortcake, the Scouts who never say no if you ask them for something, coming here presenting the Queen Anne's flag, doing the War Memorial behind us for Eagle Scout projects, restoring the Central Tree, which we did this year. There's plenty of examples if you look around Rutland, and that's the intent of the Moses Howe public service. And we wanted to make sure that it wasn't Moses Howe for public safety. It's public service for an entity, a person, or persons in the community who should be recognized. And I'm going to miss the town. I like to think that you always leave something in better shape than you found it. And I knew that I had a small window. We came here in 2015. I wanted to, you know, give my daughter a chance to experience a childhood with the family. And we did that. She just graduated from high school. She's 18. So we're in Sarah. But that was the momentum and the incentive for coming here. to finish off her childhood. So I knew I had a window, and we knew we probably wouldn't stay forever because the goal was retirement. But during that window, I also ran for selectman because I thought it would be something fun to do. And boy, was I wrong. It's not fun. Not fun at all. Don't recommend it. But I knew I had a few years to fit that in. I was able to fit in one term, and the fun part of it were the extra events, like Liz said, going up to Mike Nicholson's event and cursing out the people at Gardner. I did. That was the first line, damn you, God, damn you for taking our guy, and recognizing the Eagle Scouts and the keys to the town. And that's the stuff that I would remember for sure. So the only thing I ask as we leave town to our leaders who are up here is to keep this going. This is not Jeff Stillings' day. I appreciate it, but it's about the idea behind somebody who started this town in public service. To keep this going every year, keep that plaque going. Always find a silly reason to have some sort of ceremony. You've got a band, you got a bandstand right here. Kind words are always free. Even if you're just saying keep up the good work. If it's coming from you, it means something. It means something. We gave keys to the kids who did the perambulation. If you make a ceremony out of it and you make it a big deal, it's a big deal. And I bet you a lot of them still have those keys to the town. It's more than just a little piece of brass in there. So just like the plaque that you're giving me, I'll keep that forever. I'll remember this day forever. So I remember Rutland, and I like to think that the small window that we had was well spent. And I mean, to have Annie come out and Dave, and just to come, that means a lot to say that somebody took time. Somebody of your stature took time to come and do that. It's humbling. It's awkward, but I thank you all. So all right, thank you. Can we conclude? Lyndon's going to say something. All right, now I'll go right back at you.
I wasn't going to give you the last word. So we have one more item for you. We figured you had a lot more to pack up. So this is for your desk when you get to Florida. It says Mr. Jeff Stillings, the unofficial mayor of Rutland.
I think we're all finished now. If anyone has any words that they want to say, feel free to come up, or just we can visit with Jeff for a little while. We'll keep the microphone away from Jeff, though. Thanks for coming out. Thank you, Jeff. Thanks, Sally and Sarah.